Hello, my audience. I'm reviewing Black Panther from 2018, released back in 2, starring Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. I thought this movie sucked. I give it a 1 out of 10. It also seemed rather pointless. It basically what it does, it recreates the origins. It's a recreation of an origin story for Black Panther, of how he becomes Black Panther when he already took the Black Panther mantle in Captain America's Civil War and has been active as the Black Panther since. And this takes place right after those events of Civil War left off of. This takes place after Civil War, the events in the Black Panther movie. Confused? So am I about this plot of the movie. Why are we getting another origin story when we already kind of got an origin story / revenge story with the Black Panther and Civil War when he made his debut in the MCU? Tells me that the audience tells me that the writers couldn't think of anything interesting to do with the character. So they just rehash what you kind of. It just feels like they're doing the same shit with the character. But it's set in Wakanda, the majority of it is, and also in probably out of Wakanda. But hey, as Black Panther, in the role of Black Panther, I'm wearing CGI costume that looks like a PlayStation 2 model CGI. I know a lot of people have said it, but a lot of people have said that this has that the CGI in this is bad, and says it's like more like PlayStation 2. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's more like PlayStation 3, like God of War 3 for the PlayStation 3 CGI, or maybe the CGI for the PlayStation 2, but later PlayStation 2 when Spider-Man 3 came out on the PlayStation 2 from 2007. Besides, the PlayStation 3 came out also for both consoles, 2 and 3 for the PlayStation. Spider-Man 3 game came out back in the year 2007. And where was it going with this? Oh yeah, that's what the CGI looks like. One of those two brands, either PlayStation 3 brand or PlayStation 2 brand, but in the later years when they got the effects more better with looking with games. You know, on PlayStation 2 games, like 2007 PlayStation games, you know. So I thought this movie really sucked, and it was kind of dumb. And it's kind of a problem that one of the highlights in the movie is definitely Claw, played by Andy Serkis, and Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan. They're definitely the two highlights of the movie, but the rest, everything else in this movie, the characters within the movies themselves, the characters are forgettable, crap-ridden characters that just don't leave a good impersonation on you when they're not inside, when they're outside of superhero action stuff. Then they're just not memorable to give a good to make you like them or remember them. I mean, especially the Black Panther, he's not really good of a character outside of a few like when they're not doing a superhero action. The kind of annoying, dull characters these characters we follow are the heroes of the movies, including Black Panther, played by Chadwick Boseman, who plays the role from Civil War. You know how Civil War knew how to make Black Panther relatable and interesting and give him depth and layer to his character? Well, you can forget about putting the same amount of effort into a solo movie, because that shit didn't happen. Unfortunately, lighting did not strike twice in the same spot. It was brilliant luck would have it. Luck would not have happen in the same level of effort that the writers put into making Black Panther interesting and give him layers of character. in Civil War, the third Captain America movie, did not go in the same clearly. From what I've seen, this movie, his solo movie, didn't put the same amount of effort into making him as interesting as he was in Civil War, which was his debut movie that he debuted in. And this is a standalone movie. I mean, I don't expect to be better than Civil War, but I expect it to be at least on par with the writing of Civil War. Before I saw the movie of Black Panther, but I was surprisingly surprised that this was legitimately very bad. How bad it was. It was as bad as the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movies. Which one? All of them. Except the new one I haven't seen, Final Reckoning, it's called. I haven't seen that one, but I will. But I hate all those movies. I thought the Chadwick Boseman Black Panther movie sucked like the Mission Impossible movie sucked. Ugh. I thought this was really bad. Like, this movie took a while to get going, to get interesting. And by the time it gets interesting, it's at the halfway point when Killmonger kills Claw and enters his way through, and gets his way into Wakanda by offering Claw's head, well, his dead body, part of his dead body, like offering Claw's dead body to the Wakandas and bring him to the Wakandas, the dead body of Claw, and basically the movie gets less interesting once we have one bad guy instead of two bad guys. I'll admit. So maybe the first once again, we're not going to see the character Claw again because he's dead now in the MCU canon. And they have resurrected him like they have with Loki so far. Claw was fine with what he was given, but he was kind of he was fine with what he was given, but he wasn't given that whole lot of screen time before they killed him off. I mean, when they killed him, I felt more like it was this for shock value, not because they wanted to, has something to do with it. It's just one of those things, You killed him off just for shock value, and most of the story in this movie is played for laughs. There's a lot of jokes in this movie, over amounts of jokes in this movie, what the story wants to tell. The jokes don't often hit home run with me. They often fall flat with me. And because they sucked, a lot of the jokes in this movie, like 90% of the jokes end up sucking. Which was most of the movie. I felt like most of the movie was filled with jokes. And some action here and there. When it wasn't telling jokes, it was showing action. When it wasn't showing action, it was telling jokes. And while making Chadwick Boseman look like a spineless fool who likes to be walked over and pushed around. Because he's a nice guy. Because he's the king of Wakanda. He has to be a nice guy. He can't be a king that demands respect or speaks his mind or something, Like, he's the nice guy. The nice guy. I hate nice guys in this movie. I hate him because he is a nice guy in this movie. He's so nice, you want to see him get his testicles removed. Because he doesn't deserve them. Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther sucks that much in this movie. Sorry. I feel like I noticed my blood pressure was rising up, so I had to take a big step back and calm down. Okay. I like some of the action in this movie, but that's about it. In this movie, I like some of the action, but it looks like shit action, cheap shit action, unpolished shit action because the CGI is, well, it's dated and not finished, and rough CGI it has. This movie is guilty of having rough, unpatched, finished CGI. I give this Black Panther movie a 1 out of 10. This movie felt stupid, pointless, and unnecessary to the MCU canon of 616 adaptation of their universe from the comics. This adaptation of the 616 universe, and it feels like an unnecessary adaptation of 616 universe Black Panther. I just hated this movie. I did not value my time watching this movie. I just want it to end more than regrets than enjoyment I had felt watching this movie. I had more regrets than enjoyment watching this movie because this looks a lot like a lot of lame to me. This movie was lame. A lot of it was. Some of it was good and entertaining, but a lot of it was very lame. Very, very lame. You know, it's kind of a bad thing when your main character is not one of the highlights of the movie, but one of the weaknesses of the movie has to offer. When your main character is the Black Panther and the named after Black Panther, he just makes you hate him more and more as the movie goes on because he's too nice of a character he's nice like more than Deadpool, Nice Pool from Deadpool 3, Deadpool Wolverine movie. You know the Nice Pool character that was meant to be a punchline character? Well, that feels like the white version of Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman's take on Black Panther for this movie. Specifically, I'm talking about. In a nutshell, that's what it feels like to me. Chadwick Boseman feels like a Nice Pool before Nice Pool was invented. You know how Nice Pool had the smart idea of killing Nice Pool off and using him as a joke in the third Deadpool movie? Well, this movie doesn't have the right idea to kill off Chadwick Boseman and use him as a joke in this movie that's titled Black Panther, because Black Panther, the character, sucks and is lame. Sad because it's played by a talented actor, but such a lame script this was and a lame movie this was. Maybe the early ideas of what this movie was supposed to be, or maybe the movie was had some intention to be a better movie than what it ended up being. But what we ended up with was crap. Forgettable crap. That's my review on Black Panther from 2018, where I give it 1 out of 10. Goodbye. Subscribe. Hit the thumbs up to like my video. Feel free to just comment below. Let me know what you think of this movie or my video. I leave the comment section on now. In my recent videos now, these days. And goodbye, my friends. I'm Jake Allen Graham. That's my review on Black Panther from 2018 movie, starring Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. Goodbye.